The first time Lisa heard the voice, it came through the static like a ripple under glass. She was sitting in the basement, sorting boxes she hadn't touched in months, maybe years. One of them was filled with Lila's old toys, battered picture books, a faded plush rabbit. The plastic tea set they used to pretend was fine china. The house above her creaked with the kind of quiet that makes you aware of your own heartbeat. That was the worst part about grief, she thought. Not the crying, not the memories. The silence. She couldn't sleep. The silence clawed at her. Her father's old radio sat boxed in the corner, untouched since the move. She set it up on the workbench, more out of restlessness than curiosity. He'd been obsessed with the thing in the late 90s, swearing he could pick up more than music. Voices bouncing around the planet, he used to say. Like messages in bottles, drifting through space, waiting for someone to tune in. Lisa never took it seriously, until the static whispered something soft and familiar, calling her Mommy. She froze. The voice had been thin, barely audible, but it was there, and it was familiar. That night, she didn't sleep. She sat hunched at the workbench, eyes fixed on the dial, fingers adjusting the frequency like a safecracker trying to unlock time. Hours of nothing. Then again, the voice returned, asking if Mommy was there. She nearly collapsed from the weight of it. The sound, the tone, the tiny lilt at the end, just like Lila used to say it. 8 years old. That's how old she was when she died. The accident had been senseless. Water where it shouldn't have been. A second too slow. Lisa leaned closer to the radio, her breath catching in her throat. There was no hesitation. She needed the voice to know. She was there. In the days that followed, the voice came more often. Always through static. Always soft. Always hers. She began writing down the things it said, obsessively, as if transcribing would somehow make it more real. At first it was simple phrases, familiar ones. It missed her. It liked the pink tea set best. It asked about Bunny. But then, it changed. It said it missed being 9. Lisa blinked at the words. 9? Lila had never reached 9. She tried to dismiss it. A fluke, a corrupted signal, something caught from another broadcast. But the next night, the voice spoke again. 10 is nice, it said. I like double digits. Lisa didn't respond. The voice kept talking. About things Lila had never lived to do. A school project on butterflies. A snowy birthday party with a piñata. A boy named Travis who gave her a bracelet on Valentine's Day. None of it happened. But it felt like it had. She even found herself remembering flashes. The purple piñata. The sparkly bracelet. They didn't exist. She knew they didn't. But she remembered them. Soon, the voice didn't wait for Lisa to find it. It crackled through the walls. The toaster, the TV when it was off, it hummed in the floorboards at night. And Lisa kept listening. It told her she was a good mommy. It asked if she knew how deep the crawlspace went. It whispered that she smelled like apples, just like the others. She flinched at that one. She stopped writing them down after that. It wasn't Lila. She knew it then, and she hated herself for not turning it off sooner. She tried to throw the radio away, sealed it in a garbage bag, dumped it at the edge of town. But the voice returned. This time, from the walls. She began researching the house. Not just ownership records, incidents, old papers. archived scans, anything. She found it buried in the city records, under the original address, before the streets had been renamed. The home had once belonged to a man named Alfred Marin, a piano teacher with no family. He was well liked, quiet, until they found what was under the floorboards. 7 children, buried neatly, hands folded. Lisa didn't sleep. She burned the notebook. She unplugged the appliances. She told herself it was done. But the voice didn't need wires anymore. It told her it didn't like being ignored. It begged her to come back. It promised to be good this time. It wasn't a scream. It wasn't violent. It was calm, gentle, the way you coax a frightened animal closer. She found herself walking into the basement again. The walls buzzed like a hive. The voice whispered from inside the wires. Now, the outlets, the pipes. It knew the house better than she ever had. It told her it was okay to be scared, that the others were too, that they all loved it in the end. She opened the crawl space. The smell of old soil hit her like a memory. She crawled inside. They found Lisa weeks later, curled beside the open vent, hands folded over her chest. No signs of trauma. No known cause of death. The coroner's report said cardiac arrest brought on by malnutrition and stress. The police noted the basement's strange state. The boxes overturned. Lila's toys scattered. The crawl space hatch clawed and splintered. The old radio, somehow back on the workbench, still powered, static, humming. Until, for just a moment, it cleared. A little girl's voice came through. "Hi, baby. Mommy's here now." The officer nearest the table frowned, reaching to turn the dial. And just before his fingers touched it, the voice laughed. Not a child's laugh, not even close. It was low, wet, delighted. And buried inside it, just for a moment, was the sound of a man.